Days OFO You Are Lives Preview. Dan Gauthier makes his debut as Peter Blake. Salem is under attack by a biological threat. Salem, USA, in a world where the word unprecedented has been run through the ringer of late. One venerable institution is proving that even in the face of global uncertainty, the most potent drama remains human connection, especially when it's laced with deception, danger, and a devastating contagion. Days of Our Lives, the iconic NBC soap opera that has navigated everything from demonic possession to time-traveling necklaces, is poised to deliver its most terrifyingly relevant storyline to date. And at the center of this brewing storm is a familiar face, returning with a new visage and undoubtedly old secrets: Peter Blake, now portrayed by the acclaimed actor Dan Gauthier. This isn't just a recast. It's a reanimation of one of Salem's most cunning and complex villains, arriving precisely as the town faces a crisis that transcends personal vendettas, a targeted biological attack that threatens every resident, from the hospital to the town square. The Gauthier Gambit, a new face for an old foe. The role of Peter Blake, the brilliant, manipulative, and often pathological doctor, and former husband to Jennifer Horton, has historically been a chameleonic one. Portrayed previously by various actors, the character has been presumed dead more than once, a classic soap trope that allows for dramatic resurrection. The casting of Dan Gauthier, however, signals a significant shift in the character's potential trajectory. Gauthier is no stranger to daytime drama, having left an indelible mark as the charming yet troubled Kevin Buchanan on One Life to Live. His resume also boasts a slew of primetime and film roles, showcasing a range that can effortlessly pivot from sincere heroism to unsettling ambiguity. This specific skill set is perfect for Peter Blake. Peter is not a cartoon villain. He is intellectually superior, emotionally damaged, and capable of genuine, if twisted, affection. Gauthier's ability to convey deep-seated pain beneath a polished, controlled exterior promises a Peter who is more dangerous and more compelling than ever. Executive producer Ken Corday hinted at the seismic nature of this return. Bringing back a character of Peter's history requires an actor of immense depth. Dan brings a gravity and a new layer of mystery to Peter. The audience will be asking not just what is he doing back, but who is he now? And in the chaos about to engulf Salem, that question becomes a matter of life and death. Salem under siege, the unseen enemy. Peter's return is not happening in a vacuum. It coincides with the unleashing of a biological threat upon Salem, a plotline that resonates with chilling precision in our contemporary world. This is not a random outbreak. Previews indicate it is a deliberate, targeted attack. The mode of transmission, the symptoms, and the race for a cure will form the spine of the coming month's narrative, impacting every core family. The Horton and Brady clans, the Kyriakises, the Dimeras, all will find their lives upended by this invisible enemy. Expect scenes of triage at University Hospital that echo the heroic exhaustion of real-world healthcare workers. Expect quarantine protocols splitting families apart. Expect the high-stakes science of virology to become as central to the plot as a love triangle or a corporate takeover. In true Days fashion, the crisis will expose hidden alliances, resurrect old grudges, and force characters to make impossible choices between personal safety and communal duty. Dr. Kayla Brady, Mary Beth Evans, will be on the front lines, her medical expertise pushed to the limit. Johnny Dimera, Carson Boatman, and Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, may find their burgeoning romance tested by isolation and fear. Abe Carver, James Reynolds, as mayor, will face a political and humanitarian nightmare. The biological threat acts as a great equalizer and a dramatic amplifier, raising the stakes for every single storyline. The convergence, savior or saboteur, this is where the genius of the narrative convergence lies. Peter Blake's reappearance amidst a public health catastrophe is immediately suspicious. His background as a physician with a morally flexible history places him in a unique position. Is he here to help? Does he possess knowledge about the pathogen's origin? Could he, in fact, be its architect? The potential scenarios are deliciously fraught. The reluctant redeemer. Perhaps Peter has intelligence about the attack from his shadowy past and returns, against his own interests, to warn his ex-wife Jennifer, Katie M.C. Klein, and their family. The opportunistic manipulator. Seeing Salem in panic, Peter might see a chance to regain power, influence, or custody of his children, using the crisis as leverage. The architect of chaos. The most terrifying possibility that Peter or forces he's aligned with are directly responsible, viewing Salem as a petri dish for a larger scheme. His history with Jennifer adds a profound emotional layer. Jennifer, who has rebuilt her life, will be torn between visceral distrust and the desperate hope that the father of her children might be their only salvation. This dynamic, played by the nuanced Gauthier and the always resonant MC Klein, promises powerhouse scenes of confrontation, fraught history, and terrifying possibility. A reflection in the drama mirror. Days of Our Lives has always been a master of taking cultural anxieties and filtering them through its own uniquely dramatic lens. In the 1980s, it tackled the AIDS crisis with sensitivity. Now, in the wake of a global pandemic, the show is not shying away from the terror of a biological threat. However, it roots that terror in the genre it perfected, the suspense thriller. This is a whodunit and a how do we stop it fused into one. The introduction of Dan Gauthier as Peter Blake is the wildcard that ensures this storyline will remain character-driven. The mystery of the pathogen is inextricably linked to the mystery of Peter's heart and mind. As citizens of Salem don masks, avoid public gatherings, and fear the very air they breathe, they will also be watching the enigmatic new/old figure in their midst, wondering if he holds the cure or is the embodiment of the disease itself. In the end, Days of Our Lives reminds us that the greatest threats are often those we cannot see, and the most dangerous people are those we once loved. As the biological clock ticks down on Salem, one thing is certain. Dan Gauthier's debut as Peter Blake isn't just a casting change. It's the ignition of a fuse on a storyline that promises to be explosive, emotionally charged, and hauntingly familiar. Welcome back to Salem, where the days of our lives are now numbered by an unseen killer, and the only thing more contagious than the pathogen is the suspense.